Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming to the Valley Neighborfest today. Also want to thank Cornelia and all of her partners for organizing this, and of course the Medina Ranch, Tracy and Kevin, for hosting this event, and thank you. Yes, the third year. So we're going to have a few folks come up for short statements and introductions, and then each of them could maybe take a couple of quick questions, but we want to get through this, and then we'll have some longer presentations after that. But anyway, I just wanted to introduce myself again, Brad Rasmussen. I'm the District 4 Supervisor for the County of Lake. Scotts Valley is in District 4. The boundary goes out past the Glen Eden Trailhead a little ways. That would be the northern boundary on this side of where District 4 ends and District 3 begins. And then of course it goes around all the way through Highland Springs, up to Hopland Grade, Kelseyville, Big Valley, not all of Kelseyville, but part of Kelseyville and everything in Big Valley, and then out Soda Bay Road to the town of Soda Bay, and that's the boundaries of District 4. But anyway, I just wanted to mention a couple of the big things that are going on with the Board of Supervisors right now, in that at the end of last month we approved our operating budget for 25-26. We still have to come back by the end of September and formally adopt that budget. There's going to be a few changes, and we have to see what our carryover monies are from the last budget year before we can make final adjustments. But it's in pretty good shape. I mean, we have infrastructure projects that are funded, and we were able to give raises to the county employees, which total about $5 million over the next 3 or 4 years. So the budget's in pretty good shape, and we'll continue and finalize that in September. We have a couple of department head positions that are open right now that we've been recruiting for. One of those is Animal Control Director. The other one is Public Works Director, which has more recently become vacant. So we're working on those. And of course, I'm involved in the Scotts Valley Community Advisory Council, which Cornelia is part of it, and we have several of the other council members for that. I think Greg Scott, Jody, Jared, and who am I missing? Joel. And I believe they're all here, so that's great. But some of the stuff they're working on is ongoing, is trying to work with fire agencies and mitigation agencies regarding the fire prevention and mitigation out here, as well as the flooding issues. So that's something that you might want to monitor, the Scotts Valley Community Advisory Council meetings that happen. And then lastly, one of the big things that we're reviewing right now at the Board of Supervisors is whether or not to bring the nonprofit agency Sonoma Clean Power up to Lake County to be able to offer them to our community as a power provider. We have not made a decision on that. It's something that we're investigating right now. And before we make a final decision, I think it's important that we hear from the community. There's some complexities to it, and there is some risk to it. So it's, there's not enough time today for me to explain the whole thing, but if you want to get more detailed on it, we have it recorded from the last board meeting. They're going to be at the Scotts Valley Council meeting next week to do a presentation. They're going to be at the Lakeport City Council this week. They're going to be at the Clear Lake City Council, and then the rest of our town halls. So just to summarize, what basically, they're not a company, they're not a power company. What they do, if we brought them in, is they would basically rent the PG&E infrastructure, and they would be the person to sell the power to the customer. Right now in the counties that they're in, Sonoma and Mendocino, they are running at about anywhere from 5 to 10% lower than what PG&E costs. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to consider it, but like I said, that making that final decision is not going to be for a while until we we have more discussion and hear from the community. And that's all I have. I can, go ahead, Cornelia.
Do you want to tell people about the council and the
Yeah, so the Scotts Valley Council meetings happen on the third Mondays at 5 p.m. at the Scotts Valley Women's Club on Hendricks Road.
They're open to everyone?
It's a public meeting, just similar to a board meeting. They're a Brown Act meeting, they're public meetings. And we also recently started broadcasting those on Zoom as well as PEG TV. So you can actually watch it on the PEG TV YouTube channel or through the Zoom link to make it more accessible to people that can't make it. But you know, the reason that we have that advisory council and all the other councils is that those are meant to be an avenue for people in the smaller community area to be able to bring concerns and have easier access to them, and then have that council bring those concerns to the Board of Supervisors. That's the primary purpose of those town hall advisory councils. So if you have important topics that should be engaged, that's a good place to start. So with that, thank you, and I'm not sure who the next speaker, Cornelia, who is next? Who are we calling up?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.